Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, for the past 2 years, although initially the Taliban had said, we're going to be a totally different Taliban. We're going to be very progressive when it comes to women. No, they have been pushed out of society, out of workplaces, out of people's ability to actually see them in public spaces. And here's one of the most ridiculous ways that it's been happening over the past 2 years. Back in August of 2021, Taliban announced that shop owners would have to remove the heads of their mannequins or get rid of them entirely. Several shop owners pleaded with the Taliban to let them keep their mannequins because mannequins serve a purpose in the fashion industry. The Taliban agreed, but on one condition. All mannequins must have their faces covered. So let's now fast forward to what sort of experience you'll have. You've got black tape obscuring the face of a mannequin. Okay, you use tape, they did a little choker thing there. Little black, maybe mini garbage bags or plastic bags over the face. Obviously that's horrendous. Using tin foil to cover the head of a mannequin. And bear in mind, of course, it's not just the mannequins that this is happening to. They have defaced banners that display photos of fashion models. Basically, any acknowledgement that humans exist and have faces and heads needs to be destroyed. And at least in this case, there is at least some equality, I suppose, for once. They don't let you have male mannequin heads either. But for the most part, this is designed to totally push women into the shadows, to pretend that they don't exist, certainly don't allow them to have any rights or anything like that. And 2 years in now, it is just absurd the pathetic lengths they're going to feel their weird sense of superiority over women or whatever it is that drives the Taliban to this day.
Yeah, it's got the point of, it has to get absurd because reality keeps smacking everyone in the face, I guess, ironically. You can't fight back against people actually seeing and experiencing life. There's always the opportunity beforehand when there was a lack of information and spread of information and internet access, which of course gets limited by folks in certain parts of the world too, because seeing reality will always push back against the perceived reality that they'll push on folks. We have it here too, of course, within political parties, and they tell people one thing and they said the reality you're seeing is not real. But this has just gotten extreme where you gotta throw foil in plastic bags over mannequins' heads. Then what happens? Again, we talked about The Sims a minute ago. What happens if someone sees a face of a mannequin? What happens to them? I need like the final answer.
End of the world.
What then happens to the children that see a mannequin's face? But by the way, I noticed something on that last mannequin. Can we put that mannequin up with the foil on her face? Maybe they should have covered the breasts because those are kind of showing something else.
I see a lot of people in the chat talking about this. I'm sure they'll have a problem with the rest of that mannequin.
They missed one part.
But let's not shame people, okay? Hashtag free the nipple even for mannequins. Anyway, but I don't want any sort of shaming. The version we do in America or this insane Silent Hill version that they do in Afghanistan. I will end the show by saying this, and I know that you can't get through to these guys. They're fundamentally broken, like a lot of men around the world are. But how do you stand in front of those mannequins and see garbage bags over their head and think, this is going in the right direction? This is how people should live. This is the society that we should have. I think at that point it's pretty clear to everyone that you failed. Anyway, obviously hope that someday Afghanistan will be freed from this madness. They've suffered under it for too many decades already.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.